The year is 371 BCE. The Hellenic world, a collection of fiercely independent city-states, existed in a constant state of flux, defined by shifting alliances and the ever-present threat of conflict. For generations, one power had asserted its military dominance over the Peloponnese, Sparta. Their hoplite armies, renowned for their discipline and unwavering phalanx formation, were considered virtually invincible. But on the plains of Leuctra in Boeotia, this long-held supremacy would be shattered, ushering in a new era of Greek military thought and Theban ascendancy. Thebes, situated in the fertile Boeotian plain, had long been a regional power, though often overshadowed by its more militarily focused southern neighbors. Internal strife and Spartan interference had hampered its ambitions. However, by the early 4th century BCE, a new generation of Theban leaders began to emerge, men determined to assert their city's rightful place in the Greek world. Foremost among these were Pelopidas, a charismatic general known for his bravery, and Epaminondas, a brilliant strategist and intellectual whose innovative military thinking would forever alter the landscape of warfare. Their close partnership and shared vision fostered a period of political consolidation and military reform within Thebes. Sparta's dominance stemmed from its unique societal structure, where every citizen was first and foremost a soldier. From a young age, Spartan males underwent rigorous training, forcing them into disciplined and formidable warriors. Their military success had allowed Sparta to establish a hegemonic position over the Peloponnesian League, often imposing its will on other member states. This dominance, however, bred resentment. Many cities chafed under Spartan control, longing for greater autonomy. The Thebans, in particular, viewed Spartan interference in Boeotian affairs as an unacceptable infringement upon their regional influence. Tensions between Thebes and Sparta reached a boiling point following a Spartan intervention in Boeotia. Thebes, under the leadership of Pelopidas and Epaminondas, refused to submit to Spartan demands. Recognizing the inevitability of conflict, both sides began to mobilize their forces. The Spartans, confident in the superiority of their hoplite phalanx, marched north with a large army composed of Spartan citizens and their Peloponnesian allies. The Thebans, though outnumbered, were determined to defend their independence. The two armies converged on the plain of Leuctra, a seemingly unremarkable location that would soon become synonymous with a revolutionary shift in military tactics. The Spartan army was a testament to tradition. Their hoplites, clad in bronze armor and wielding spears and shields, were arrayed in the conventional phalanx formation, a tightly packed block typically 8 to 12 ranks deep. This formation relied on mass and cohesion to overwhelm the enemy through sheer force. The Theban army, while also composed primarily of hoplites, differed in a significant way. Under the strategic guidance of Epaminondas, the Thebans had been drilling in new tactical maneuvers, emphasizing flexibility and the concentration of force at a decisive point. Recognizing the inherent weakness of the traditional evenly distributed phalanx, its vulnerability to being outflanked or broken at any point along its line, Epaminondas conceived a radical new tactical approach. Instead of deploying his forces in a uniform line, he deliberately strengthened his left wing, the traditional position of honor and attack, with an unprecedented 50 ranks of his best troops, including the elite sacred band of Thebes. His center and right wings were deliberately thinned and positioned in an echelon formation, angled back from the main assault. This oblique order aimed to create an overwhelming concentration of force on the Spartan right flank, where the best Spartan warriors were traditionally positioned, while the weaker Theban right would gradually withdraw, avoiding decisive engagement until the Spartan strength was broken. As the two armies drew closer, the anticipation was palpable. The Spartans, confident in their reputation, advanced in their customary steady pace. The Thebans, under Epaminondas' command, moved with a focused determination. The battle commenced with a furious charge by the heavily reinforced Theban left wing. The sheer weight and depth of their formation crashed into the Spartan right with devastating impact. The 50-deep column acted like a battering ram, shattering the traditional 12-rank Spartan phalanx. The Spartans, accustomed to overwhelming their opponents with the initial push of their phalanx, were unprepared for the sheer density and power of the Theban assault. The deep ranks of Theban hoplites pushed relentlessly forward, their spears finding gaps in the Spartan armor. Crucially, the Spartan king, Cleombrotus, was among the first to fall, further demoralizing his troops. The traditional Spartan discipline began to waver under the relentless pressure. Meanwhile, the Theban center and right wings held back, engaging only lightly, as Epaminondas had planned, conserving their strength while the decisive action unfolded on the left. The battle was a decisive Theban victory. The Spartan army, which had for so long been the terror of Greece, suffered heavy losses, including a significant portion of its elite citizen soldiers. The myth of Spartan invincibility was shattered. The victory at Leuctra had profound consequences for the Greek world. It marked the end of Spartan hegemony and the rise of Theban power. Epaminondas's innovative tactical deployment demonstrated the limitations of the traditional hoplite phalanx and ushered in a new era of military thinking, emphasizing the concentration of force and the exploitation of weak points in the enemy line. The Battle of Leuctra stands as a testament to the power of strategic innovation and a watershed moment in the history of ancient warfare. The Theban triumph at Leuctra remains a significant event in military history, a powerful example of how tactical brilliance can overcome even the most formidable of adversaries. Understanding this pivotal battle allows us to appreciate the dynamic nature of warfare and the constant evolution of military thought in the ancient world.